reflecting on attending the 3rd Minerals, Metals, and Materials Diversity Summit, July 2018. So today is Saturday, 18 January 2025. I'm Tanis C. Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm going to reflect on attending a multi-day diversity summit for professionals in minerals, metals, and materials disciplines when I was 25 years of age at a diversity summit held at the University of California, Santa Barbara, in Santa Barbara, California, in July 2018. It was the 3rd summit on diversity in the minerals, metals, and materials professions held Monday, 23 July 2018 to Tuesday, 24 July 2018. So multi-day, meaning overnight. I arrived, it was the day before the start, and I think either departed like in the afternoon on the 2nd day or the day after, and I drove because I was living in the East Bay area, in East San Francisco Bay area in California. So I drove. And so I'm gonna have a snack of a dark chocolate, Lindor truffle. So I kind of go through this briefly. And maybe next time Elvis will be my date. So the next time I go to this diversity summit or something similar, if I return to science/mathematics, then maybe I can take my Elvis with me. And I'll include this in my multimedia coverage because I still have my badge. So I arrived and checked in. I stayed on campus at they had lodging for guests on campus. So I paid for everything myself out of pocket. Had a bunch of savings, and I decided diversity mattered to me. And so I decided to go all on my own, no advisor or anything like that. And here's my badge. So here's the Multimedia 2018. I did not even sign up for this until I think it was like March or April 2018, and it was in July 2018. So this badge was made in 2018. And so here I am, Tanis C. Leonhardi, so the name to call me by, my name, and then affiliation, University of California, Berkeley, California. I was a graduate student at the time, PhD candidate in geophysics, and a lot of my work was included mineral physics, and materials physics, condensed matter physics. So this was like right up my alley, and I had gone to the Minerals, Metals, and Materials Society March meeting, if I'm recalling it was correctly, in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went to the diversity committee meeting, and I signed up for that, and I saw this, and I was like, I'll go to this as well, because I haven't been to a diversity summit before. And you know, I was 25 years of age, and I was like, it's good to, I care about it, and it's early in my career to do it now. And so I went, and turns out there were other people from my university who went. Not from my department, but from the Material Science and Engineering department. Like Oscar Dubon went and presented, and then who was a professor in that department, and then another professor in that department, Robert Ritchie. He did not go, however, a female student in his group went, and there were a bunch of different sessions, and I went to a bunch of different sessions, and they covered a bunch of different topics, and perhaps the standout for like a session topic was I went to one on sexual orientation and its relevance in the minerals, metals, and materials disciplines. And they had a panel of people with different sexual orientations who shared about and answered questions about their experiences in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as someone with their sexual orientation. And you know what was the coolest thing about that? It was very cool. They had on the panel someone of my sexual orientation. They had an asexual. I was in there and I was like, that might be the coolest thing I've ever seen. And all of STEM, an asexual on that panel. And it was like that, just like we're like a very underrepresented, especially in like us being forward about being asexual, sexual orientation and STEM. And I was just like, that's very cool. Oscar Dubon had some really great, I saw multiple of his presentations. He was kind of in a panel, and then he was the one or A1 who kind of made it'd be nice if someone won a Nobel Prize, so the relevant there might be physics, chemistry, and physiology or medicine, and cared about diversity and went to like a diversity summit like this before they won the prize. Or a lot of people do stuff after they go big, but to do it before shows like genuine care. And then another kind of highlight was someone from industry who came and had his slides pulled by the company he was presenting, so he had to do his entire, I think it was an hour time slot. He had to do it all like free form, just like without the slides. And I was like, that's incredible. A lot of people would not be ready for that. So it was very diverse in that sense, in terms of it wasn't just academia. There was academia, there was labs, there was industry, there was a wealth of perspectives in race and ethnicity as well. Like I focused more on, I went to the sexual orientation session, and but for me, I think the biggest one was actually where people worked in the profession. It was kind of like a really cool one. So there we go. It's a reminder for me of attending can be just as impactful, if not more impactful, than presenting. So there we go. So I was reflecting on attending the 3rd Minerals, Metals, and Materials Diversity Summit July 2018.